Hello, and welcome to the 2-Bit Game Club's Let's Play of Metal Gear Solid, the tactical espionage game, the tactical espionage action game. My name is Liam Gallagher, and I'm joined by...
Emily.
Oh,
Hi, everyone.
How are you today, Emily?
I'm good. I am ready for some Metal Gear.
Solid.
For your ears, not for your eyes, I guess, in this case. Well, I suppose this will be streamed.
Yeah. The Metal Gear Solid will be televised. So, let's look at the mission log. We blew up a helicopter, which I was really excited about, but then somehow it made it boring because I had to hit a helicopter with missiles for 15 minutes. And at some point in there, I was no longer excited. So that was something. But the game is gorgeous, right? And
Oh, yeah.
my
It's
phone...
got snow effects, dude.
Yeah, my phone's ringing again, and this time it didn't let me not answer
that's
it.
the weird thing. It just moved by itself. It's headed your way now.
Is that so? Okay.
That explosion before, what was it?
Oh, I
Boop,
had
boop,
to
boop, boop,
take
boop,
out
boop.
that helicopter.
You just have like a cute little the Sailor
That's
Moon
incredible,
opening play
Snake.
every single
Listen,
time
I
Snake
just
has
wanna
to
make sure again.
pick up
This is the
his
way to get to where Metal Gear is being stored.
his in-game
Yeah.
cell phone.
The entrance to the underground
You know,
maintenance
it's
base
funny
is
because
towards
like
the back of
the
the
amount of
snowfield
time that he
ahead.
spends answering his phone is
Find a
like some
safe
kind
place
of
to
real
hide
life
out for a
simulator
while.
for you're like,
I'm
yeah,
going
I'm doing like
underground.
crazy awesome things with my life, and
you
it's
don't
like
have
boop
to
boop boop
tell
boop
me.
boop, and you're like,
Stay
hold
out of my
on.
way.
One
Don't try to be a
second.
hero or anything.
Yeah, I have to
Okay.
talk to my
Call me if
weeaboo
you
friend.
need to.
Yeah, I have to talk to my weeaboo friend. It's like a, it's like a. I don't know if you've ever seen that Mr. Bean skit where he answers. He's on his phone and he like goes through all these, a series of things in daily life where he almost, falls down potholes and like, causes massive amounts of property damage and probably kills people as he's just walking around completely absorbed in his phone.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and goes from like inland to the ocean. You're like, yeah, even the flip phones, we kind of knew this was coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when you say I was reading about some video game history, and I guess like Space Attack, which is one of the first video games, like proper like video signal games. People wrote about it at the time, being worried about the effect that the violence on screen would have on youngerns.
And I mean, that's literally, I'm assuming Space Attack is literally probably just Space Invaders reskinned.
It was before Space Invaders.
Oh, okay, so it's the early all right.
Yeah, so this
And,
is like before there were arcade cabinets or like consoles specifically.
Oh
But,
no,
like,
no, I
yeah,
figured I figured that was the case. I just wasn't sure if it was like slightly post or pre, so it was before that. Wow.
Yeah.
And they were like, these dots indicate violence.
And we're worried about today's youth.
Well, it's okay. The youth is now getting old, and they're like, we're not serial murderers, so I'm sure it'll be fine. But we'll find something else to quibble about our kids with when they start putting on like VR headsets, and they're like, we can't tell if they're looking at porn. We're scared.
Yeah.
Alone in the world.
Absolutely. There'll be like Pokemon Go texting. How do you add text and Pokemon Go in a portmanteau? I don't know.
Pokemon, go fuck yourself. Sorry.
Heyo, right in the pooter.
Yep.
Exactly. But that's fun. Yep. So it didn't take much, and I think there's something worth talking about there for this game. How do you think this game does in terms of the way it handles depictions of violence?
Handles depiction of violence. Well, it handles them with ridicule.
Yeah.
Does the game doesn't have blood, does it?
Not to my knowledge.
And that's probably, in my experience, generally in the history of games, that's to change ratings.
Yes.
When you don't show blood, it's to make sure that I think it's PG-13. I'm not sure what it would have been when this came out.
Yeah. If you don't show blood, you can give it to a baby.
Yeah, if you don't show blood and you don't show tits, then you can. And it's an everybody game.
The two most
yeah.
dangerous substances on the planet.
Forget the fact that most people have them.
Yeah.
Everyone has blood. Oh no, we can't show that. That's too much.
Everyone has breasts too.
Yeah,
No
everyone has boobs. That's
no
not
one gets away.
nipples. I don't know if I haven't checked with the characters in this game, but you always have the weird like male oblong nipples, and they're like, whoa, easy now. We can have Dragon Ball Z where people are like punched through planets and there's blood everywhere, but showing their nipples, oh, easy now.
Yeah.
Too far.
Yeah.
Despite them doing nothing. But yeah, so you can this this could practically be a pacifier for a 5-year-old because it takes both of those out of account.
Yeah.
But yeah, the violence is totally a joke. That's totally the point. Like you know you have the random dudes that walk around and you're like, you have a mask. You're a nobody. I could do anything with you and it wouldn't matter.
So,
If you take out the one I'm wearing, that leaves 4.
hey, this isn't
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of
math
reminds me of the
class.
Star Wars
I
movie
thought I'd get one
where they
for
tried to
you.
give
So
a
I
bunch
went
of
back
the
to the
newest one,
lab
where the guards
Yeah.
come around the corner
The
and
4
Kylo Ren
suits
is
were
destroying a panel room, and they like
Also,
they go, oh, maybe we
about the
shouldn't walk
elevator
down
that
here.
I
We'll
checked
probably get
out,
killed, and they like
it's
walk
really
away. But you know, they're
strange.
they're
It was like
faceless.
someone
And I
Yeah.
guess the fact that one of the
intentionally
main
holding
characters
When
is
you
an
were
ex
riding on it,
stormtrooper,
did the weight
where they're
limit
like,
warning go
oh,
off?
we're adding
That's
so
another
much
thing that
humanity to
bothers
the
me
guys
about
who all have identical
The warning
masks and
went
walk
off,
the same,
and
and
I know I
you know
couldn't
just
be
fall
on
over
the
instantly in the
How
way of a
much do you
protagonist.
weigh?
Um,
About 135.
and this game
But that elevator had
doesn't
a
really
weight
have any of
limit
that,
of
I guess, because
650
it's
pounds.
still a
It would
stereotype
take
when
at
this would
least
have come out.
5 people to go over
Yeah.
that limit.
It's just the norm.
Look out, Snake!
Look out, Snake.
The guys who stole my stealth prototypes
Ow.
are in there with you.
They're shooting you with their weeaboo guns.
Yeah. Apparently, there's like guys in the elevator with me, and I have to fight them, even though I can't see them. But I should be able to just like pull a weapon, right, and just like go to town on them.
Like spin in circles as fast as you can, firing a machine gun.
Yeah, I don't think that would work because it's an elevator and the corridors are pretty close. But you should be able to like ice people with a pistol, right?
I guess. I mean, that being said, bullets would be bouncing everywhere, hypothetically. But we've already beat bullet bouncing man.
Yeah,
On top of the fact that you
we
probably
already did that level.
Yeah, we already did that level, so we can't do that again. It has to be something different this time. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's kind of cool. There's like 3 normal dudes. Okay, I'll think it's cool if you kill them and that's the end of it. But if
Yeah.
more guys drop down from the top, then I'll be annoyed on your behalf.
Okay.
Because the gimmick's cool ones. So I actually started the new Uncharted game just for a little window because the tech behind it was really cool, and I didn't have access to a PS4 until recently. You know, go over to a friend's place, give it a shot.
Yeah.
And it reminded me again. I actually, for the first time ever with those games, I put on auto lock.
Yeah.
Normally I don't do that because I'm like, I'm a real video gamer. I don't use auto lock. You know, I actually shoot the dudes. I just put it on, and it's like this. Killing the dudes makes no difference, no tangible difference in the gameplay.
Yeah.
Because they pop out behind something, you shoot them in the head 4 times, they maybe die, another guy shows up, also pops his head out, and it just happens over and over again. And you're like, killing the actual enemies doesn't bring anything else to the game.
Yeah.
And adding auto lock did not diminish my experience in any way because my real job was to run around and jump behind things, and you know there's explosions everywhere, and I have to like find the right path to escape said explosions. And the dudes are normally kind of meant to guide you a little bit, or just to be some kind of random filler. It's very, very pointless. Really, I don't know.
Yeah. Shoehorned in, right? Just
Shoehorned in.
it feels to punctuate conflict.
Yeah, to punctuate conflict, but like they're not like using it to make you feel guilt. Like the newest Tomb Raider, they did that. She I think she kills a man with her bow, and she's like, oh god, you know, I've killed somebody, I can't handle this. She like curls up in a ball and rocks back and forth in fetal position. You're like, this is cool. My character's being affected by what she's done. And then 10 minutes later you walk around a corner and you kill 16 guys.
Yeah,
And she
but-
stopped crying. She kills them mercilessly without a reaction.
Yeah.
And she actually she has these kills where she takes a pickaxe off her back. And she'll take a random enemy, and they have like a whole moveset for this, but if you do this specific one, you can buy it, and it's a visceral, basically. And what she does is she takes the axe. By the way, all the enemies are men. There's not a single female default enemy in the game. You take a random guy, and she takes the pickaxe, and she like shoves it up between his legs, and then pulls it and rips it all the way up his body.
Wow.
Up until his neck, and then blood goes everywhere if you have blood on, and the guy like splits in half and dies. Like it's full on.
Yeah.
You know, super kill from
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, yeah. And you're like, whoa, this girl was crying 2 minutes ago about shooting an arrow through one guy's eye, and then she like dismembers a guy through his crotch all the way up to his head, and she's like, cool this, and she's covered in blood. being like, oh no, I'm, the heroine.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? You could make this really interesting. You could have not the 9 guys like popping out over and over again. You could have her really regret what she's done. Or maybe like sometimes if you killed too many guys, you can't do it anymore. Like your hands are shaking too much to actually be able to pull your bow. So you have to find alternative ways to get out of a situation. But instead they do that, and it absolutely 100%. I love Tomb Raider. I love Lara Croft. It ruined that game for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it just kept happening, and you go to different parts in the game, and then their mark for game playing besides exploration is you have to spend 15 minutes hiding behind cover, popping out, hitting a guy, going back behind cover. Like, it was even worse than the Uncharted games, and it just completely wrecked the experience for me. It wrecked a lot of the genuine nature and character building that they had put or done their best to put into the game. That was definitely something they prioritized on, but all of it was lost because you have to have a traditional type of gameplay that will fill time that people are used to dealing with and is kind of industry standard. And it's like, oh, it's agitating.
Yeah. You have to give people a product they understand so they know what they're buying, right?
Yeah. And I mean, they wouldn't show moments like that in gameplay. Another thing that bothered me is that the difficulty, I put it to the top difficulty because I'm like, I'm good at these games. They're not that hard most of the time. And I generally enjoyed the previous ones because you'd fight like wolves and stuff and cool enemies. This was you'd only fight dudes in this one. And it was the same dudes over and over. And the difficulty slider, I tried putting it up and down, and it would just mean more people would spawn and that you could take less damage. That was the only thing it changed. So it meant that putting in a harder difficulty meant that these sequences would last an extra 5 minutes, or you'd have to maybe find a few more health packs or something. That's all it changed. It wasn't like the same amount of dudes, but more difficult to kill. It was, just very lazy design, on top of only giving you what you expect or what you've already experienced before. And that doesn't... It actively takes away from important stuff like the story or how you connect with the character. And I mean, going back to this, looking at it, like at least you have something like some special enemies that you have to deal with, which is, I find that acceptably interesting. It kind of sucks you have to go through that huge sequence every time, though.
Yeah.
That's
so,
nasty.
One of the things I'm discovering is that at this point in time, if you had a hunch that maybe something was weird going on in the elevator, it doesn't do anything for you, right? Because there's gonna be guys in this elevator, right?
Yeah.
But
you can't prep.
Yeah, just make a note. Yeah, I think that this game definitely deserves credit for the way that it's portraying like armed conflict, because it doesn't make like life cheap, or it doesn't glorify you as like a murder cannon and how like fantastic and veiny your biceps are as a result of how many lives you've ended.
Yeah, and not a lot of games do that. They don't often acknowledge it, and it's very rare that it does because it's a very somber subject. You can't actually... It's hard to make somebody feel weight about that when a mechanic of making progress through games like this, often adventure games, is killing people. You don't have the cut where a wailing woman comes up and says, I'm going to try and murder you with this knife, even though I know you're just going to shoot me. Because you murdered my husband and now nobody is feeding the kids. Like that's not going to happen in something that wants to remain lighthearted or into a story that is something bigger, like stopping the world from nuclear war, which is this case. They're never going to do that. But like the stuff, I guess limiting the way you can kill people is one of the most annoying things in this game. The fact that they tell you can't kill people a certain way or use mechanics that you actively have, that really sucks. But yeah, they're just generic dudes. It's expected there's generic dudes, and it is what it is. Also, are they dropping more dudes on you?
I don't think so, but for some reason they have like a zillion more hit points than the usual guys do.
They're strong guys.
Yeah, and the way that the chokehold mechanic works, the way that like the enemies work is that when they fall on the ground, you can't hurt them anymore. So soon, like they all go down with a stun grenade and immediately become invincible.
Yeah. Oh, because you can only deal with it when they're actually standing up. I wonder if you can. You probably can't duck under their bullets.
I don't know, but it's possible. Maybe this is supposed to be like a cute kind of action puzzle, and I'm treating it like it's a vulgar brawl.
Vulgar brawl.
We'll try
Fists are covered with invisible blood.
Yeah, we'll try a different approach. Dancing snake. Woo!
I'm curious whether or not they're introducing you to these guys, and then if you'll get more later.
Yeah.
Or if this is kind of a one-off thing, because it'd be cool if it's a one-off thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Just like
So
it's saying claiming that there's like 4 super suits left, and that these are the dudes with
these guys stole them. Anonymous men.
these guys, right? Snake,
Those
my name's
dudes.
Otacon. I like anime. don't get killed by the guys, Snake. Okay, sweet. Snake-oo.
Snake, now die.
Was it Liquid, someone that we dealt with in the helicopter?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Sorry, what was the name again?
Otacon, Liquid Snake, Snake-oo. Yeah,
Liquid Snake.
he's like the vanilla version with frosty hair.
That's funny. Be like the, I forget what you call it if it's like a cougar, but an old rich man.
Oh,
Be like that version of him.
yeah, I guess. I don't know if I've killed any of these guys yet.
It kind of sucks they don't go visible after you,
Do anything.
There seems to be an actual, like fight mechanic of them all lining up and firing down one side that gives you enough time to deal with one of them. I don't know what triggers that though, and if it's a time-based thing. Yeah, I feel like there's...
This isn't going. It's not going horribly, I was saying, but I'm not exactly sure what I was doing right.
Snake, what happened? Snake.
I got one before. So the stun grenades did seem to be doing something. Shooting them at point blank range with automatic weapon fire did not seem to help, though.
Indeed. Wolf,
You know, like I've only ever taken martial arts very briefly, but I know enough that like getting kicked in the head is not very pleasant, and I don't know how many times you need to kick me in the head to kill me, but I know that you would not need to tear my body apart with high caliber automatic weapons at point blank range very often in order to end my life.
Yes, it I mean, if you want to talk about that sort of thing, there's lots of stuff that goes into like when you see people sword fight, where it's like, okay, this takes 4 seconds. There's like a set of 3 moves that ends up happening, and then at the end of that, somebody's lost.
Yeah.
Somebody's
like
lost at the end of those 3 moves.
jockeying for position until you can deliver the checkmate.
Yeah, and once you get the checkmate, there's only one. There's no like, oh no, I kind of slashed your side, and now you're bleeding a little bit, but it's okay because we're gonna keep bashing each other. No, it's a very quick, brief thing, and the exact thing. The faster you finish it, a lot of the skill in things like martial arts and swordplay is you want to finish it as fast as possible, so they have no chance to do anything.
Yeah.
And it's only for sake of making things more exciting, which I always find is a believable enough excuse just to let it go. And I mean, there's stuff like Dark Souls and Demon Souls where it's like, okay, you be flattened instantly, but these are still really tough games where you really feel like you actually have to work really hard for those tiny little things. But it's very much its own little world.
Yeah, and I'm on board for that.
Yeah.
I'm not no fun.
Only mildly.
It just gets a point, right? Like, what do I have to compare it to, right?
Yeah. I wonder how much longer you have left in this game, actually.
I have no idea. Lifetime? How much longer do I have in this elevator?
However long it takes you to kill the invisible men.
Yeah. I mean, I keep on hitting people with the bullets from my gun. It's not seeming to help me at all, though. Oh! If that's a ration. Yes, it's a ration. Oh, give me that sweet ration. Okay, I think I can do this then.
Oh, actually, why are you not using your thermal goggles?
Because I can see them well enough, actually.
I guess you can. That's true. Oh, did you get it?
Almost. There's one guy left. Oh, I
Things are
accidentally
looking
put
very
C4
good.
down.
At least
Sweet
from what I
Lord.
saw.
Okay, I
Nice.
can't press the circle button.
Don't. That's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay, I got this. I was gonna try and look it up. There's so many scenes in elevators. It's really hard to
Yeah.
figure out
Oh, I
where this is in the game.
Yeah. Oh, I think I got them all then. I thought I missed one, but there you go. Maybe that's a plot point. The one that got away. Okay, don't press the circle button. If anything, just don't do it, Liam. Wait till you're on a different screen. Oh man, chaff grenades. Keep on waiting. This is a terrible joke, but I keep on waiting for wheat grenades. I know.
Here, fluff grenades. Yeah, it seems like the way that you did it was probably the best way.
Just like shoot a gun at a guy and hit him in the
Yeah,
face
the
until he
FAMAS.
falls over.
Yeah, or either that or the quick kill, suffocate, breakneck, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I did that to one guy once, but then they shot me. So I was like, annoyed.
Not a good enough murdering efficiency.
I don't know how to get out of here.
I remember my first kill
Yeah. In
at
subsequent
4,000 in the last 4 hours.
exactly. Yeah. So like a big problem that I have is one, I don't know where I am and where I'm supposed to go. That's fun, but I don't like it when video games when they treat human life like it's cheap. I think it's fine if you're playing like an Unreal tournament or something that's clearly just the camera. That's clearly just supposed to be like an arena-based shooter type situation, right? Where it's not really about human life or anything that's supposed to be even remotely real. It's just, it's a thing. It's a thing that's fun. But in games that ostensibly are supposed to represent the real world or a world similar to the one that we live in, but maybe with a slightly different history or whatever, I really don't like it when the game wants me to stupid cameras feel good about murdering people and believe that murderers are people I should want to be like, or like it's all justified or whatnot.
Yeah. It's actually kind of cool what Assassin's Creed did with this. Because it was a game that's very much like a gung-ho honor thing, which I'm normally very much not into. That kind of stuff bothers me, having an excuse for something like honor. Because it's normally used to kill people. You normally say you kill somebody because it's honorable. But they actually, you lose if you kill civilians.
Yeah.
Like it ends a mission if you jump into a crowd by accident, and it's not easy. You like kind of have to make an active effort to pull out your knife and try and actively target somebody who's on a street and kill them. It takes a lot of effort to do that, but when you do that, they go, all right, mission over. You murdered some woman, and that's against your group's creed.
Yeah.
And what you've done is wrong, so try again. But murdering a guard is okay. All of them are kind of personality-less, and you have to deal with most of them. And you can't spare guards. You have to kill them.
Yeah.
There's no way around that. Beyond sneaking past them, you can't spare them.
But at least there's an attempt to like, wow, I got shot, and I can see who shot me.
Yeah, some kind of core morals for your
What's
character
happening?
a little bit, and a bit of a
Are you
consequence
okay?
as well,
Otacon,
without
were
it
there
being
any other stealth prototypes?
like, for example, a
No,
mission
there
that
were
forces
only
you to
5.
sneak, and if
So,
somebody sees
this is
you,
the stealth
then they
camouflage
instantly
then.
kill you or something
What
like
are you
that.
talking about?
Yeah.
It's a better
Someone's aiming
solution
at
than
me
that.
In the middle of this blizzard.
So the game just pulled like a really weird camera move
Wolf?
where
Sniper
all of a
Wolf.
sudden I was
Yes,
seeing from the
it's her.
perspective
It's
of
definitely
the
her.
antagonist.
Otacon,
It
you
felt
sound
strange.
Like you're happy.
No, I'm not.
So then what is it?
That they switched to Sniper Wolf's
Please
view.
don't
Yeah.
You're like,
her.
this is what she
Are you
sees.
Yeah.
He sees, or I can't
Please.
remember.
She's
Dude
a
or girl.
good person.
Yeah.
You'd know that if you talk to her.
Listen to me, kid. She's a
I mean, they're showing the
merciless
angle that
killer.
you see them from, so you don't
I
have
can
to,
see
for example,
past
get shot
your
twice and actually look at
fear.
where the bullets are coming from.
Yeah.
So you know what camera angle they're looking at you from, despite not being able to see the whole field, which
Yeah.
is easy to visualize. So
Wolf, no, you can't.
Don't get between a
What a
wolf
fit.
and its prey.
You're pretty good if you can hit me in this storm.
You see, women naturally make better
do you get the opportunity to
soldiers.
use those
Wolf,
the missiles
don't
again?
do this.
Hopefully.
Snake, I'm near. Can't you sense me near you?
It's It's a mistake.
This character's
for a
weird.
sniper to reveal our location.
Yeah, why are you talking on the
Don't
radio?
get between a wolf and its
Well, I'm
prey.
going to send you
Rawr.
a
Nothing
lovely
comes
reminder.
between the wolf and its cell
Do you
phone.
know what that is?
Beep
It's a
boop.
bullet straight from my gun to your heart.
Please, Wolf. Snake, no!
Please,
Quiet.
Kind of a
wolf.
cool character though.
Don't get in
Snake.
our way.
Now I'm gonna pay you back.
Donkey.
Meryl.
You
E-I-E-I-O.
You could never finish what you start.
Okay. See, if all of the exchanges of like dialogue and whatnot were that long, I think I could learn to love the game. You know?
That's still a pretty long dialogue sequence, all things considered.
But like stuff was said, we learned things about characters, and you know, it established the scenario, and now we're good to go and we can keep playing a video game, right?
And you're going straight into the fight with the person you just talked to.
Yeah, like it's video gamey, it's campy, but like at least we've set something up here.
Oh god, yeah. There's another thing about Uncharted. The newest Uncharted, they're beautiful games. They're stunning. I sit with other people who aren't video game people, or they're like, you know, they like Pokemon. That's kind of as far as they ever got. And I just gush about how the faces are, and they're like, you know, you could just, they're like, that's a little bit weird. And you're like, you don't understand. Everything's so perfect. I'm like walking around in, you know, the character's house,
Yeah.
being like, oh my god, there's different towel models, and you know, the floor, it's so perfect. And it's like, okay, Emily, easy now. But the whole game is cutscene after cutscene after cutscene, and they're long too. And I'm glad to have my characters built up, but like I really, there's a lot of moments, for example, like scripted moments where somebody falls off an edge. And Uncharted has always given you, it's been famous for its quick time events, where if somebody falls off an edge, you suddenly have to mash triangle, and I don't think it's a great solution, but they've stopped doing that, so now nothing happens.
Sure, yeah.
Like, they'll just pull up the person off the edge, and you're like, why am I even here? You don't need me at all. This could just be a movie, and the character doesn't need my help. Nothing ever goes wrong.
Yeah, what's my
He can just do it on
involvement
his
in
own.
this? Yeah.
Yeah, you feel like a third wheel as the player, which is just
Weird.
really, yeah.
My hands are
Not
shaky
into
because
it.
I'm almost dead.
No.
Yeah.
You don't have any more rations to stuff in your face?
I have
at Mach 5?
diazepam. Which button to shoot again? There you go, that one.
That's a good question. So does she switch positions?
Yeah, she moved.
That's kind of neat. Outsnipe the sniper.
Yeah. This is kind of, She's got, like, because what's going to happen is she's going to look out from behind the tree, and I'm going to shoot her. And she's going to move to another tree and back, and I'm just going to wait patiently, and then I'm going to shoot her.
Oh, and you can actually see her move too.
Yeah, I should be able to get her too, but I think the game isn't letting me. Yeah. Even though that would have, like, got her arm. Anyway. I wonder, yeah, like, there's just, like, 3 trees. I wonder if I can hit her while she's on the go. Bum, bum.
I bet she'll repeat patterns, so if you keep your
Yeah.
thing at the right height, you'll be able to,
My diazepam is not working.
oh dear.
Yeah. See, stuff like this that's kind of frustrating because this is the point at which I don't think the fight is cool anymore, and we're only halfway through. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if it made you, like, for example, if you got her behind the trees enough, we'll see this after maybe she gets past half health or something,
yeah.
where she'd be like, okay, I'm gonna snipe you from higher up on the building now, and then you have to change places on the ground,
Yeah.
and try again. Or maybe if you couldn't see her just sitting behind the trees, if she, like, dropped down, but then you'd have to wait a while and re-aim again, and I don't know if that's a better solution.
Yeah, the most intense thing about this fight so far is the music. Oh man, I need more uppers. I need to pop some pills.
At least she doesn't take too long to kill.
Yes, that this fight is short is very merciful.
And it is a cool fight, outsniping a sniper.
Yeah, other than the fact that I can stay completely still.
So, like, if there were dudes that attacked you every now and again,
I don't know.
I mean, it would make you go out of your thing, but that would also be really frustrating.
I don't know. The game. I don't know. Just the gameplay didn't have any dynamic to it. You know, it'd be.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to listen to like a high school band. You know, even if they're playing the melodies right and things are in tune, usually the thing that they don't have is a dynamic range, where everything is just mezzo forte the whole time. There's just no drama. There's just no.
Yeah.
It's just sexless. If that makes sense.
It's always a huge problem with high school bands.
Yeah.
One of the reasons they always bothered me. There's the heart and soul and the real feel of the music. You lose it when you do it 1,000 times, but if you're good, you don't.
I am
Yeah.
a sniper.
And it's hard to teach somebody that. It's hard to know what flavor to add to a game to give it that
Never moving a muscle.
panache.
Concentrating.
So there is blood in this game. I was wrong. I forgot about all the times that people fall over and they have blood pools underneath them.
Yeah. Blood never comes out of mooks though.
Save me.
Yeah, like when you punch a dude or murder a man, there's no blood.
But it's like
Just
I don't
finish
know.
me quick.
Part of this is I find so rough because it's like I shot this woman like 12 times from not very far away
Always
with like a big gun,
place like this.
and they've made
Well, she shot you a ton of times too, and you kept putting drugs in your arm, and then you're fine.
I was
and it's
born
Goes
like-
both ways.
they're trying to, but I mean they're trying to establish that this game takes place like in the version of the real world,
on fire.
you know, using like live footage
Screams.
from like history, and it's
Yep.
just
Lullabies.
so like I'm constantly having to buck through things
Day
like.
after day.
I feel like it set an expectation that I should think that these people have like a real element,
That
and then I hit her with enough ammunition that like, you know, we would need a duffel bag to
each
bring her
morning
home,
I'd
right?
wake up.
Yeah, and I mean it's the same
Find
with
a
killing
few
you
water, my
and
family or
when you kill
friends
random
there
dudes, but there has
beside
to be a
me.
level of gameplay, and I think that's definitely an excusable, believable level. Like I've definitely seen way worse. And
Yeah.
she lies on the ground saying, you know, you literally got bullets in my lungs, so there's no way you can save me.
Governments of the
No.
world
And she breathes for a while, says a few words, and then presumably dies. And I just haven't gotten there yet. So I don't know. I find that acceptable level of believability because they do have to add some kind of gameplay, because otherwise everybody would fall over after one bullet.
Yeah,
And James Bond movies just don't
He
work
took me
in
away from
reality.
all that.
yeah.
You mean Big Boss?
I became a sniper. Hidden.
I mean, you did put a lot of rockets into that helicopter.
It's crazy. What's that helicopter made out of?
Now I could see why.
No, right? And like, why can't we have armor made out of that, please?
But from the outside, as an observer,
Would be nice if you cared about her before you killed her, though.
Really didn't.
the stupidity.
Because everybody telling you their life story, like, what was it, a bondage man?
Yeah.
Bondage witchcraft dude? This is totally the same thing, where they tell you their story, but after they're dying, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, but you're dead, so
This is the
I
scene
know.
where the villain is being arrested on the steps of the courthouse, and suddenly announce what their motives were, right?
Yeah, and you're like, I needed to feed the orphans, and you're like, okay, well, we could have talked about this before, or maybe I could have known some other way that you needed to feed the orphans, but you picked a bad way, and then you refused to pick another way. Like, then I understand a bit more, but it doesn't matter to me now because you're dead.
And I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling kids.
Yeah, and more for those meddling kids. So,
Yeah, in this case.
and they do it. They keep doing it. I'm okay with it once, but they keep doing it. It's
Yeah.
annoying.
In this case, Snake is Scooby in the gang.
Yeah,
You
100%.
pick
Yeah.
the word
They're
for
even
wolf
talking
is
about dogs.
paperback, and the Aleuts
Though I
revere
do
them
think
as
this lady
honorable
is cool.
cousins. They call mercenaries like us dogs of war.
Wolves are noble animals.
true.
Thanks
We're
for
all
the
for sale at
words.
some price or another. But you're different.
What a
Be
metaphor.
like, they're not like dogs. I raise
Solitary.
dogs. You're not a
You're no
dog.
You're a wolf.
It's turning what I thought was the like every time I'm like, oh, that's cool subtext, like that's some neat storytelling. Then like Snake says it out loud 10 minutes
Meryl's
later.
life.
Yeah. You're like, God damn it. We didn't need to don't need to draw a diagram when it's not important anyways, but you get enjoyment from the subtext by not having a diagram
Yeah.
drawn. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
And that's a problem in any kind of medium. It's a bad writing issue.
Yeah, because it definitely creates bloat to these cutscenes that otherwise could have been snappy, right?
Yeah, you'd lose like an hour of gameplay if you took away some of these lines that are unnecessary, just because there's so much dialogue.
Yeah. So like this whole thing, like a man like you, I was waiting for him to kill me, a hero to take my life away, to end this so I could move on. I thought that was pretty clear from the dialogue about her saying like men never finish anything they start.
Why?
Right? Like, wasn't that what that was about?
Yeah, and the little dog portion of the conversation was kind of a little interesting blip. That's fine, you know, you acknowledge her name. But then there's also a whole bunch of stuff before that, and it just keeps going and going.
She's part of me.
Oh, I didn't know this.
And then she shoots Snake through the throat.
What? Spoilers. I'm not there yet.
Yeah. See that? So, but this is the fun character moment where she's like talking about her gun as being like part of her pack.
Set me free.
Yeah, and she'd be like, I want to die within my arms. And she's like, give the gun back to the murderer in her final moments. And she's like, this is what happens.
And this is good. Like, Snake is doing her in like execution style while Otacon's right there. Like, so this
Even
is.
though I was like, yeah, I loved her.
So it's like this is the thing that really frustrates me about this game is that like a moment ago was like some of the most heavy-handed let-in writing that has ever happened, and then it's followed by a touching moment followed by
I don't need a handkerchief.
super heavy writing.
Why?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any more tears
Yeah.
to shed.
I mean, I have a feeling that they're gonna. I only just got to
I'm
him
going to the underground base.
executing her.
We're out of
We're gonna be
time.
like, oh, she was such a brave soul. Oh, what a
You'll have to
strong
protect yourself
person.
now.
And they just
Don't
keep
trust
going.
anyone.
Oh, do you think love can bloom on the
If I can't stop
battlefield?
Metal
You know, like
Gear,
just.
this whole place would probably be bombed
And then,
to
and then,
hell.
of course, it all goes back to Snake because the game's
Yeah.
about Snake.
might not meet again.
Yeah, it's too bad. I don't even remember
I'll hang on
Sniper
to my
Wolf being
coat.
established as
I wanna keep
a romantic
helping.
character for a weeaboo man.
Yeah.
Leave any time.
Was that actually
Get a
fully
head start.
established?
Head
Yeah,
start.
it was unrequited.
Unrequited, but they had like a history or something.
Yeah, because she'd been on the base, and she would let Otacon take care of the wolves, and like feed them and
Oh,
play
okay,
with them.
okay. Yeah.
What was
Okay,
she
so I just
fighting
missed
for?
that, which is that means she does have
What am
pre-building,
I
which is nice,
fighting
and it did
for?
come to some kind of
What are
conclusion.
you
Yeah.
fighting for?
Just took a really long time to actually happen.
If we make it through this, I'll tell you.
I would have loved it if Snake said nothing there. He
Okay.
just walked away.
I'll be searching too.
Oh well. Wolf howls in the distance. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of my experience with this game has been some of the most compelling experiences I've had in video games, followed by some of the absolute worst experiences I've ever had.
That was a really cool scene where he walks off and like, I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like kind of uncool because yeah, he could have just kept walking or something, and we could have answered this later. We didn't need that, all the direct answers or nothing making sense all the time.
Yeah. A thing blew up, but it didn't kill me. So I guess we're fine.
And that's what matters.
I have more health bar now. Oh, there's a lot of claymores in here set up. That's fine.
Yeah, I think you get an opportunity to fill your pockets with
Diazepam.
death.
It's interesting. When my inventory is full, it doesn't let me pick up more claymores. So that he's just leaving the claymores armed on the ground.
That is kind of funny. Hope you can't walk over them and later and die.
Yeah, well, you would be able
probably
to, right?
Yeah.
Fool me once. Shame on me.
It's not. I don't know why they're always set up though. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, you can find them in boxes sometimes.
Oh, can you? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. it's
but
just in a
those
strange
ones were
spot then.
set up. Pusky.
Traps.
I found some pusky bullets. I don't know what that means. Yeah. So that's rapidly becoming my impression of this game, is that it's a mix between some of the absolute worst, most poorly executed gameplay and story concepts in any game I've ever played, punctuated by some of the most interesting and compelling storytelling I've ever seen attempted in a game, and sometimes even pulled off.
And yeah, and I'm imagining that the people that really enjoy this game must be looking at those moments.
Yeah.
And we can see them too. So it's definitely probably based on how much you discount it purely on the bad parts of the experience versus the very, very overwhelmingly positive or interesting or unique parts of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm starting to see, interesting camera placement. I mean, yeah, I'm starting to understand why the people who like this game like it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because before I was just like, what is this trash game for trash people filled with trash? This is horrible. I'm being punished. But I think that like enough of a high level thing is starting to develop for me where it's like, oh, if you just like are willing to forgive these 10 things that have happened and then just think about these 10 things that have happened instead, that this is a good game. I feel like this game could do well with like an editor, you know, just like someone to come
I
through
guarantee. Yeah.
after it was made and be like, oh, we have to cut this, we have to cut this. I know that you love this scene, but it is too long and it is out of the game now. And I know that you think that this character's line is really cool, but it's their 10th line in a row, and that's not going in this video game because I'm the editor, and this is what you pay me for.
And there's already buckets of cuts in this. I'm sure they lost absolutely colossal amounts of finished or quality content. That's always been a big problem in game development as a whole.
Yes.
Is you have a moment where you have to decide really what the game's about, and if somebody makes bad decisions at that moment, you can lose really awesome stuff, or stuff that people actually wanted, or things that could have greatly improved the final product.
I had to put the second disc in.
Oh, no way. How quaint is that?
Yeah. I like that. For a second, because this is the screen that comes up when you die as well, when Snakeu is killed. So I thought that I was just being killed for walking down.
Walking down a staircase?
Yeah. Which I would not put past this game. I was half expecting to say like game over.
The guillotine falls from the ceiling and kills you.
Yeah.
Pick the wrong door, Snake.
Snakeu, no.
Snake-sama.
Exactly.
Well, you're halfway through the game now.
Halfway through the number of discs, anyways.
Yeah, well, generally they're halfway through the content.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am surprised how much they can cram into these games, though.
Yep.
Seriously, they had very little
Sony's
space.
non-universal media disc.
Yeah.
Press start after inserting disc 2. I'm doing my best. Start. Oh god. It would be amazing if we had like some sort of ludicrous technical glitch where like the next boss of the game is getting the disc to read.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
There's some magic trick. You have to change where your controller's plugged in. You have to go to Japan.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta send your UPC code to Hideo Kojima. All right,
Send you back a
we did it.
scannable picture of Snake. Yay.
We're gonna save.
Good plan.
In China, they say it's better to live ugly.
What happens
than
if you
to
just put
die.
the first or the second disc in first? Will the save file be like, nope, I'm not here yet.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I have no idea. I'm sure they've thought that through.
Also, oh man, Deep Throat.
Yeah.
Let's call him on our cell phone video.
I guess that was the same name as the Watergate scandal guy. As per our discussions about pooters, there was a period of time where everything didn't necessarily refer to something sexy.
You caught Snake?
Yeah, it's funny. I like seeing slang all over the place.
Yeah.
When it's like really recent too, where you're like, okay, this is my lifetime. This meant something different. Going back not very far.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I can't name or don't want to name on air where it's like that, and you're like, this is just a regular word, but stigma has destroyed it
Snake,
forever.
have you
Yeah,
heard
for
what
sure.
she said? Win any way you can, Nice guys.
Nice guys finish last. Right? Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
The Green Days. Yeah, there's a really funny example from jazz history where there's a drummer named Shelly Manne. He's a good drummer back in the day. But he had a bar in California that was called Shelly Manne's Manhole. Yeah, I know, right?
That's pretty funny.
But
they already have a sense of humor.
But it was referring to like a manhole cover on a
Oh, of course.
on the street, right? Because
Yeah.
there was a thing where he used like a really big ride cymbal that was really thick, so they joked that it was like playing a manhole cover, right?
Yeah.
But at the time, there was no sexual connotation about that whatsoever, right? Like nobody at the time thought that was a reference to human anatomy in any way. Is that amazing?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Different times.
my favorite, there was a really good joke in a Harry Partridge cartoon, and I love how he deals with really inappropriate stuff and puts them in like a childish cartoon sense, and it creates this great sense of humor. But he has a lesbian bar pop up in one of his cartoons, and it's called the lesbian bar in just huge letters is called the Dyke.
Nice.
And big letters on the front, and then it has this tiny little star that lights up at the bottom of the sign after, which says a long wall or embankment built to prevent flooding. Like not in any referral to a lesbian.
Yeah.
That is what this word actually means. I was just like, it's true, it's funny, but it changes the fundamental meaning of a word, and eventually the dictionary catches up.
Yeah.
It's a very funny thought. Also, you're going like full Aliens 3 here with going over like this
Foundry.
yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. I haven't watched that many action films, I have to admit. I'm well watched with my westerns and my Hong Kong action films.
Hong Kong action is the good
Yeah.
drunk friend movie night kind of version of action films, definitely.
Yeah, I love the Jackie Chans and the Bruce Lees and all that stuff.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, Drunken Master, Police Story. Oh boy. We're playing Ring Around the Rosie.
I mean, that's a whole nother genre to stick our head in. This is supposed to be the westernized version of Asia's version of our action movies. I mean, surely you have James Bonded.
Oh yeah,
at the very least.
But
definitely, yeah.
This guy's so dumb. We just played Ring Around the Rosie. How do I get down?
Catch him.
I don't see a ladder.
I think when you were shuffling along the wall, you might have been able to go farther or something.
Maybe you're supposed to like sidle up to the moving cable thing.
That was my thought, and then you can find a way onto that. That's also hilarious that he's like, where did he go after spending like 5 minutes just running around in circles? Random grunts.
Yeah. Or maybe I just have to sidle across. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently you have to destroy the crane.
Oh.
There's a way to do that.
There you go. Well, I noticed that if you stop pressing the sidle button, Snake just jumps into the foundry.
Oh. oh no.
Those kinds of things always make me laugh in games when like the game lets you make mistakes that the character would never make.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, blah, 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 and melts into
Yeah, so how do I do this?
liquid snake indeed.
Do I fire a rocket at it?
Yeah, you fire a rocket at it. See, you figured it out yourself. Didn't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
You might want to take care of that guard though. Oh, I'm kind of excited about this now.
Oh boy. I blew my cover by setting off a rocket like 6 inches from my face, and it didn't even kill me. And now this guy has no idea where I am. Oh man, what a game! See, like I wish
What a game!
I wish the game was sillier than it is. Because I had
yeah.
I had fun doing that.
And I mean, Metal Gear Solid, if nothing else, realizes how freaking goofy it is. Now, the cool thing about all of our gripes with this is I feel like once we, if we ever get an opportunity to go farther into the series,
Yeah.
We'll see if they fix their mistakes, because that's often one of the most important part about game sins is that they fix it later. They realize what happened or what went wrong, and they change it later on.
Yeah.
And that's what makes or breaks some game series when you have stuff like where it's like the second or the third game is just the best.
Yeah.
And Call of Duty being a good example, despite I don't have much of a history of it, but a lot of people just talk about how much some of the very particular games, once they manage to figure out how to do it really well, were just an incredible experience for them.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that like the first 2 Call of Duty games are the best.
Yeah, people say I think the second being the one that is the defining one. I wish you could throw those guys in the lava. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or molten
Steel or whatever. Okay, we did it. Yeah, I've played Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and I thought it was really good. I thought it was a fun game. It has a lot of the problems that this game has, but I feel like it did a better job of like balancing the like stupidity of this game with like actual things that you get to do as a player, in a video game. And it's more fully 3D rather than all this top-down stuff, which I feel like does not. Wow. Okay. For example, there's an elevator. Wow. Okay. I learned that there's an elevator by accidentally getting in it. That's fine. Because it's more fully 3D, like you can look ahead of you and like see where you're going, and so you don't accidentally wander into the line of sight of an enemy that the character would know was there, but you don't as the player for some reason, which to me is always bucks. Yeah. Anytime like something happens that I think that the character would have a good handle on, or not do personally, and I can't control that or don't know it because of the way that the game's been presented, always takes me out of the experience for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to something like level design rather than, say, weapon design, where you're like handed something, I'm like, I know how to use this, and you're like, I didn't play the old games, please, I don't know how to use this. Versus something like level design where, I mean, the primary method, they've figured it out now, is lights. You're guided through levels by lights, always.
Yeah.
I like it sometimes when there's not like a straight up an entrance that's basically under a spotlight, which says here. Especially another thing I've had with the Uncharted games recently is where they're like here, and they're like, oh no, the building you were about to climb blew up. Guess we'll have to find an alternative way. And you're like, I could already see the alternative way. Like if you just let me
do that, yeah,
pick that, or if it looked natural, I might have just gone that way anyways, and then it would have like been okay, or maybe that one would have blown up and I have to take a different one, but no, they kind of forcibly guide you. So yeah, it's a bit up in the air. And I mean, at this point in time, they would have still been figuring it out because 3D wasn't super established in the same way that it is now, even in weird top-down third person or whatever versus over-the-shoulder third person like regular 3D.
Yeah. I feel like part of the issue is that because of the way that the content is presented, the game is really happening in a tiny square in the top right-hand corner. And
yeah,
I got body armor. What a fucking idea that is. Sorry.
Keep those bullets out of your insides.
What have I been wearing so far that's been allowing me to get shot by tank guns?
Frilly panties can keep the keep the rockets out.
Yeah. Sniper Wolf's push-up bra. Oh boy, did that ever lift and separate?
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe the sniper bullets kept it at bay. But, yeah. Like, where you just went, when you went through that door at the very end of the hall to, like, go to the other side and get stuff.
Yeah.
They indicated that entirely with light. I actually might have not noticed that, when I was playing it, and it's probably darker because of Twitch.
Yeah.
But, like, stuff like that, I probably wouldn't have seen that, because it's not, like, a super obvious entrance. It's obvious enough, but you have a possibility of missing something like that, and then you get stuck and you don't know where to go, and that's not fun. But at the same time, being fully handheld isn't fun. And
Yeah, absolutely. There's a thing to reach. I like the Warren Spector design approach with that stuff, where it's like, make the 60% of content that the player ends up seeing engaging enough that they feel like they have a full experience, so that if they ever decide to go back and have another playthrough and they see stuff they didn't see before, they feel rewarded, rather than, just like force your player to see every second that you've created.
Yeah, and there's nothing extra there.
Yeah, I know that there's a differences in like design philosophy there, where a lot of people are like, why would we spend development money and time on things not every player would see? That sounds crazy. But
There's that, and when you have limited disk space like you do with something like this, where you'd rather than improve the second time around, make the first time around that little bit better, because you're so limited in terms of what you can actually put into the game.
Yeah,
you got to make the best use of it, and that's a big part of the design. But I mean, there's stuff like, for example, I don't know if this happened before, but like if you don't kill a guard, or if you wait a little bit longer, they talk for a little while.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, which isn't a full-on extras to a level, but it's something that a lot of people might make the decision to do, but isn't necessary.
Yep.
That'd be kind of cool, and it brings a little bit more humanizing to the game, and that's not too revolutionary of an idea when this game would have come out.
Yeah, Deus Ex did that to extremely, extremely effective narrative effect. Whereas this game, I find they do it to like give like just a little bit more flavor to some of the spaces, but it never seems like it's in there to actually deliver world or plot, which Deus Ex did a great job of.
And they force all the plot down your throat, so we've already we figured out that they're not great at keeping plot points light or implied, as opposed to very literal and tattooed on the main character's face for all to see.
Yeah.
And they don't really, the mysteries that they keep, they tell you that they're keeping a mystery until the end of the game, and you're like, okay, I wonder what it is, but you didn't have to tell me. You could have just left me wondering and explained at the end.
Yeah.
And maybe that's definitely something that Deus Ex, as a similar genre and a similar subject and all like similar theming, has just straight up done better, which is fantastic to be able to put side by side with something like this and say, okay, how could they improve this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, I don't know if we wanted to stop our current...
Yeah, I think it's a good time to take a break. We're going to leave Snake doing his Iron Fist dance technique. And when we come back, we're going to head down the elevator and see what is beyond that. Yay,
Woo-wee.
Video games. All right.
Heck yeah.
Where can you find us on the web, Emily?
All right, so you guys, we're at 2-Bit Game Club with the 2, not spelled 2, just the number 2, at Facebook, 2-Bit Game Club on Twitter, very own website, 2-Bit Game Club, Twitch, 2-Bit Game Club, YouTube, and you can find yourself, Liam Gallagher, there, as well as the podcast that is done separately from our streams, talking about games with you and Brooke Jensen.
Absolutely. All right, so until next time, thanks for watching the 2-Bit Game Club.
Thanks very much, everyone. Have a good night.